I remember the fateful Abu Dhabi 21. We cried. You cried where you were, and I was crying where I am. And I
remember I think we were like, oh my god, we can't believe it. I think that like December was actually like that 12th Jamhuri Day in Kenya in 2021. I think it was just a few days after my graduation. And I was so happy. I was so excited. I was like, Yenny, like this win for Lewis is going to be like my present for my graduation.
Yeah.
So I remember I was very prepped, I watched this race with my niece, my nephew, because of course I've inducted them into Formula 1 fans. They are mini F1 fans and mini Lewis Hamilton fans as well. So we were watching this race together. Like, I was like, oh my god, we're getting it right. We got pole, saying keyword.
Yeah.
The race, we are leading it until like, that whole thing that traumatizes all Mercedes fans. And I know I don't want to say it, but it triggers me so much. Lapped cars. I don't want to say it. So until it happened, and
through goes Hamilton. You can hear the cheers from Monza.
The mics are on and off we go.
Hi guys, my name is Winnie.
My name is Ray.
Welcome to the Wheelspin Podcast, the home of Formula 1 content and everything motorsport. So today we're going to be doing something
different.
Very different.
Yeah.
I think we are releasing this episode in celebration of our half a year existence. We've been running this podcast for 6 months now. So this is some sort of like, half birthday, half birthday to the Wheelspin Podcast.
Yeah.
I wish we had cake, but we don't have cake. So I think, we thought that this would be like a good opportunity for you guys to get to know us a little bit better. I think we just jumped into the podcast business. We just, got to know it's me, Winnie.
And got a preamble.
Yeah, never a preamble. So it's like, we just redogged you guys with information. I think, can we just count the number of times I've said Blue Dog in like an episode? I feel like it's one of the words I keep on saying all the time. Sorry guys. I feel like I've said it before, like in an episode, but then no, let's not digress. So I think for one, I think we've been hosting for 6 months. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And I think sometimes of course, we're passionate fans. So I feel like sometimes we get in the way of each other's sentences, like, oh, you say that, oh, this happened, and then
we just use one brain cell.
We do. So we think we do use the same, like a brain cell. So let's see how much similarly we think. So we're gonna start this episode with something called a mind meld. So I'll just say like a random word from Formula 1 related.
Yeah, we're saying them at the same time just to see if we
can get into something. We build up, we see we can get into something that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like our icebreaker. Oh my god, I think people should hire us to do their whole team building things, but we'll like go around, let's ice break. Oh yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. So
we'll start the team building 50 minutes later.
Yeah, right. Yeah, terrible. People hate us.
Yeah,
okay,
so I think we can start. So okay, so 1, 2, 3, pit stop.
Wind. I said wind. You said
pit stop.
Wind. Okay, pit stop, wind, pit stop, wind. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, so let's see. There's the wind.
I'm in Canada. You're in New Zealand.
I know, Jesus Christ. We are just worlds apart. Let's see. So can I honestly like most of the time I see this wind up with the slowest pit stops. Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's just do it until
we get into something.
We get one similar one. We say one similar one.
We will never get there.
We will get there.
Okay, let's go.
Do you think we will not get there?
We will get there.
We will.
Let's see then. If we don't get, we have to get on with this episode.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Shaya.
In the beginning, I didn't even know what is happening. I just see cars going round
in circles.
So
I want to get the into the thick of it. Like,
Yeah,
I
and
understand why these cars are going in circles.
Yeah, and also I felt like once I, could comprehend what is going on, I was like, oh, I don't see many people talking about this, so it's interesting to be different. So that was what
Also drew you to motorsport.
Yeah, into motorsport.
And you're in specifically into from the world of Formula One.
Yeah, I got into Formula One first before I learned that there's so much
of motorsport.
So I got into other things as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I would just say basically Formula One is my favorite.
Motorsport
And sport in general.
Well. Okay.
Yeah, what got you into motorsport and F1?
Okay. So I think my journey with as a driver, but I feel like my entanglement with motorsport, I think we've all had rally when we were rather, especially here in Kenya.
Yeah.
We have a rich history with the rally championship as well, the roots of the safari rally as well. So I think when you're growing up, you're hearing, there were cars that were passing here, they were going really fast and all that. So I say that's the first place maybe, I understood that there was a world, that is motorsport. So I'd say rally was the first one, but it's not like I got into it or to understand. It was just oh, I know that exists. Formula One, actually I have very bad memory, right? I forget easily. I forget so much easily. So I'd sometimes when I try to remember, I have my friend, shout out to my friend, she's called Jackie. She's one who has excellent memory skills. So sometimes when I've forgotten this, is Jackie, when did I first mention my love for
Yeah.
So I like to go and ask her, maybe when did I start telling you about Milan? Because maybe I will tell her about Milan. She doesn't even understand anything Milan, but she will listen.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think so I think for me, for Milan, I think also being in that space where I think there's a person I was dating a while back, 6 years, back, almost 6 years back. So, and they were into F1, but not, I don't think they were of course they and then I was oh yeah, okay, interesting, but at first, let me tell you, as a new fan, I couldn't grasp, I didn't even think I'd ever grasp the 10 teams on the grid and get to know the drivers that are driving in each. And then for me to find out, after mastering them, actually they will change next year.
Yeah, and then it's so constant, and then there's rules.
Yeah, and then there are rules, exactly. So I think for me, it started that way. And I think I got into it because of, Formula One. I got into Formula One by proximity of the person that I was seeing at the time.
Yeah.
So that sounds drew me into F1. I think that's my story with Formula One.
Why Mercedes?
You didn't even ask me, what do you mean, why Mercedes? Okay, so I'll say what team do I support? So I'll say, I think when I started watching F1, seriously, when I started following, I think 2019, 2018, sort of, I actually started off as Tifosi. I'm actually Tifosi. Look, I've always been a Lewis Hamilton fan. But also I think at the beginning, I was even up to now, I support Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, everybody's a Ferrari fan. Even if they say they're not a Ferrari fan.
I can't even in fact, I am a Ferrari fan. I am Tifosi. It's heartbreaking to be one sometimes, but there's there's a fool to, as in we keep on saying there's no Formula One without Ferrari, right?
Yeah, they are the face of Formula One
because they've been there from the beginning. And
yeah.
do you know why Ferrari are they race with the red scarlet color?
Why? No.
At the first when Formula One was starting back then, you used to race with your country color. So Italy is, I think, it was given red. So yeah, that's the color they used to race. Yeah, it's interesting because I actually thought, that's a history. It's just a random thing that I don't even want to tell you why I thought they were racing the red color. So I think those are my favorite teams. But the thing is, with teams, I don't know, now that I have started, since I started podcasting, now I got serious with now being, I mean, of course, I was always in depth with the information even before
Yeah.
I started a podcast. But now, as in, it allows me to actually to get exposed to the worlds of the other smaller teams as well. And I realize that they also need some good airtime as well. And they have, they're great teams. Like, yes, they might be
Yeah.
small, but they are also they're still microeconomies on their own. And it's nice to just understand, I don't know, and appreciate the work they do as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think also that's something that I would say I appreciate because of the podcast. I wasn't really paying attention to,
The smaller teams
other teams. I was just watching F1
for the big
to
teams.
watch Lewis Hamilton.
And win exactly.
Yeah, but now I feel like I have like some of my favorites apart are like Alexander Albon in the Williams.
We love Alexander Albon.
So yeah, at least it's I have knowledge of other teams,
Yeah.
and not just basically the teams in F1, also what the name of the team represents outside Formula One.
Exactly. So why I mean of course I know you support Lewis Hamilton and you support Mercedes, of course that's like what got us together as well.
Yeah.
So why them?
Funny story. When I was getting, or when I got into F1, my favorite was Sebastian when he was in Red Bull.
Red Bull. Oh really?
Yeah, I liked Seb.
I mean,
When
not to like about Sebastian Vettel.
yeah, I really liked Sebastian, and I was like,
Inject.
inject, inject. But after watching for a while, I was like, who is this person? Who
wanna
is
know,
this
yeah,
person in
yeah.
a white racing suit? Who is this person?
Who are you?
And bringing the beef.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the time I saw just somewhere that they were beefing with Lewis, and Lewis told him to come outside, and they can fight it out. So yeah, I saw there's a black person in the sport, and that was very interesting because I saw there's no other black person in racing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I started getting into the story of Lewis Hamilton. And then I was like, okay, this is something, personally, I was like, this is something I relate to.
Yeah.
I relate to his journey. So I was like, let me see, let me support him. And, I made a very good decision. I think
it's the best decision you've made.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we underestimate the value of, identifying with someone's journey. And I think that's why, most Hamilton fans are very passionate fans,
Yeah.
because they see themselves in him, his journey through Formula One. He didn't come from money.
Yeah.
So he had his parents, normal working parents, selling stuff, sending complete send to ensure motorsport. We keep on saying is not a cheap
It's
sport.
not cheap.
It's very expensive, even
Yeah.
from the ground up, from karting to all the levels. It's quite very, very,
Even
very
you when you
expensive.
go karting, have you seen the prices?
It's crazy.
Crazy,
Yeah,
yeah.
being sustainable, it is crazy, and that's why we need an institutional help. Not the reason why they keep on asking why we don't we have more black talent. It's because it's very we have to have
But
an
the thing is,
infrastructure that works.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's very, very expensive. So I think
But I don't know.
I think we can just go to. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, I do have a question for you, and it's not about it's not about history or your history of Formula One.
that's it.
I'll just ask a very random question. So, who do you think is going to be the next world champion? From someone who hasn't won a world champion.
Also,
Max or
okay.
Lewis.
From
Not
okay.
Alonso.
All right, someone who's not won a world champion.
Yeah, who do
or
you think will be the
championship.
first non-Max Lewis Alonso to win a world championship?
Oscar Piastri.
Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
Someone is rooting for you.
I've always rooted. I'm rooting for Oscar Piastri. So I don't know. I mean, that's a brave choice, but I want.
We will circle back to this in a couple of years.
So I think the other thing is
Oscar Piastri is have you ever seen this meme of when you wake up and you see someone your own age is doing better than you.
You just want to go back to bed.
Yeah.
Oscar Piastri, is that because he's way younger? I think he's a bit younger.
He's 22.
Oh my god. I want to go back to bed.
But yeah, I do believe he has the potential to be our world champion.
Yeah, he can be world champion.
So Oscar,
the ball is in your court.
Yeah,
and
to become the first
non-conventional.
Yeah,
the people who've already won.
Yeah.
I think now. So why do you come to this podcast?
Why do I come to this podcast? I will just say when we were beginning, or when we began this podcast, it was more of a space for me to just come and share my thoughts, because we usually had a lot to say.
I think we need to we can actually circle back to it. Actually, I know people are like, so when did you even when did you start this? Why did you even start this podcast? I think we can just tell people how we met. Me and Dre, I think she DM'd me on Instagram.
Yeah.
It used to be this person. I get, there's not so much people to talk about F1. My parents, at home, I used to be like, Sasa, how am I watch? Why are you being so involved? I would be very passionate about, be like, I'm so involved as if I'm a mechanic or I drive for these teams. So I think, and I used to rant a lot on Instagram stories, and then now this time I think you responded to I don't even know how I don't know how she just
but
responded.
I remember it was in 2021.
It was 2020, babe.
It was 2020.
Yeah, I think we met in 2020. Yeah,
we started talking on Instagram
in 2020.
Yeah, but we met in
2021 and then 2020.
We met in 2022.
We went a long while before we met.
It was the British Grand Prix.
We went and watched it together. Where was it?
No, it was 2021.
Oh, we've met.
The British Grand Prix in 2021, because I can remember the incidents.
Okay, that's when we started talking.
No, that's when we met.
But we started talking in 2020.
Yeah, in 2020.
On Instagram, and then now we met in 2021 in
2021.
person. All that time used to be Ray and me, and then on race weekends we have this long voice notes to each other. It was crazy.
You're listening to them like a podcast.
Honestly, it was a podcast
Yeah.
because it was so, and we were like, oh my god, yeah, we're calling strategy meetings, are we gonna win this? No. And then being fans at the height of 2021, oh my god, crazy.
Yeah.
So I think
it was 2020 because we talked through 2021, and then we met during the British Grand Prix, and then me and Winnie started going to watch parties together.
Yeah.
And then because I remember the fateful Abu Dhabi 21. We cried. You cried where you are, and I was crying where I am. And I remember.
I think we were like, oh my god, we can't believe it. I think that December was actually that 12th Jamhuri Day in Kenya in 2021. I think it was just a few days after my graduation. And I was so happy. I was so excited. I was like, Yenny, this win for Lewis is going to be my present for my graduation.
Yeah.
So I remember I was very prepped, I watched this race with my niece, my nephew, because of course I've inducted them into Formula 1 fans. They are mini F1 fans and mini Lewis Hamilton fans as well. So we were watching this race together. I was like, oh my god, we're getting it right. We got pole, secured.
Yeah.
The race, we are leading it until that whole thing that traumatizes all Mercedes fans. And I know I don't want to say it, but it triggers me so much. Locked cars. I don't want to say it. So until it happened, and then so it was the worst thing ever. I think it's the most painful thing I've experienced ever. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't bring myself to actually see anything Formula 1. I remember after that, I told you. In fact, what I did was I went and unfollowed.
I remember every Formula 1.
Every Formula 1 thing. I unfollowed it. I unfollowed everything. I didn't want to. I have never sat to watch.
Yeah.
That I do not want to see. I don't want to see it on my YouTube. I don't want to see it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
On Twitter, I didn't want to, because honestly, I cried. And for me, I
Yeah,
kept on
I
saying,
know,
you remember,
I
I
cried and crowed.
I think that for me, like, that really was like testament for me, like, F1 to me was more than something that I watched.
Yeah, and for some people they don't really understand, but I do get, maybe they don't understand the attachment that people get with these, these things. They'll be like, Lewis Hamilton doesn't even know you. Yeah, he doesn't even know me,
okay.
but me, I know him.
Yeah, I know him, and I know him. And that's the whole, like, I think it's like that power that people need to understand, that people who wield so much good power.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Lewis Hamilton is a force. Like, this is someone, as in we've talked about it, we identify with his journey. And this is someone who tries to do very, like, good in the world. Like, right now, you can choose to be very selfish. You can choose to just, you see, all the time I think also, like, following his journey, he has grown,
Yeah.
When he does some things, us we're like, oh my god, he's so much better than me.
Yeah.
He might be PR, I know we say it's PR, but inherently, like me, even with PR, I mean, if these drivers, most of them have training, but we've seen their true colors come out because you can only hide for so long.
Yeah.
Eventually, like, your true nature does really, come out. So for me, 2021 was something that defined, for me it was more philosophical, and for people who care to listen to me when I talk about it, and why for me personally it hurt so bad, was I couldn't believe it. Like, they robbed a black man on live TV. I remember with Lewis, like, I think he gave an interview later and he was talking about how he was like, oh yeah, in his head was like, this is live TV. No,
they can't do it.
They can't do it
on live TV.
And he was such a sportsman. Like, he hugged, said hi, went to the podium, like, and like nothing had happened. I didn't even watch that whole, I didn't see anything else. I just watched his interview and then I couldn't. I was heartbroken. As in, I have never had such heartbreak. Like, I didn't even know it was possible. Like, as in, I was distraught.
To feel such pain, because I remember it was with my friend's birthday and I cried.
And for people, like, I know sometimes they just say it's a sport. But it wasn't a sport.
That day was
a loss. Like, and it's good. Lewis went away for a while. We actually thought he was not going to come back. And it was justified. It's okay. But then, as in, for me, I still haven't moved on because that was robbery. It was robbery with violence because it really violated us as well. So I think I don't want to. Okay, that's one thing that has really, like, I think that is one of the biggest moments for me, like, in Formula One. I think so I think I want to ask you the other question.
No, it's my turn.
Oh, it's yours.
Okay. My question is, so you having this platform, and hopefully us getting to reach millions of people, someday.
Yeah, someday. I love that you say that.
What do you think you would do with your platform?
Thank you so much for that question. Yeah, and I'm so sure one day we will get to millions.
Yeah.
And even though it's not millions, like, one of you, two of you who listen, I mean, we do have something for you every weekend, every time we come here. So for me, this platform, like, of course, like, we want to debrief, like, I mean, for me, this is a platform to just show people that you can dare to be different. You can dare to just go after all the things you want.
Yeah.
We started this podcast, you don't have, like, media backing or saying, like, we have a budget that backs us. This is just us and passion and pouring into it.
Yeah.
So more so, this platform is to highlight, or I know we've done an episode where we talked about the place of Africa in motorsports.
Yeah.
And especially Formula One. I mean, it was just one episode. It's just like a precursor for so many other conversations that we will have and curate later on. For me, this platform, I would want to, there's so much information and we do the digging a lot.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there's a lot we can do to link Africa and especially Kenya, and the population and people who are interested in motorsport, to try and show them that they can work at this global, like, we don't work in the global, but we somehow work in the global sport because we're talking about Formula One, which is a global sport. So I think eventually for me it's just to build, to just, even though it's like we'll have like a non-profit or something that helps link is it universities and these programs, mechanical, like we have very smart children, very smart kids, very smart graduates coming out of university.
Yeah.
And there's a place for them in motorsport as well. Like there's so many smart girls, like they can be engineers, they can be race strategists, race strategists. They can, and they can live like us as well.
Yeah.
They can come from wherever we come from. So, and I know sometimes people think I didn't grow up with Formula One. Like, come on, like I didn't. Like I grew up around, normal upbringings. I grew up in fact, I grew up in Kirinyaga. I grew up in Kirinyaga and then Kiambu. Like that was F1. I mean, it's for long. It's been regarded as like a rich,
person sport, a rich man sport.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, it's okay. That's like on the back it lies on. Like that is its history.
Yeah.
But then now, like we've gotten to a place where F1 is global. Like as in everything has a start. It's for everyone. And I think for us, we want to just show black girls everywhere, like black girls everywhere that they can. You can do it. You can do. In fact, it's a message for everyone.
Yeah,
everywhere. Like if you want to
enter any room you want to.
Thank you. Yeah, you can. And if there's no seat for you, create yours.
Yeah,
because I feel like for us, we feel like we have something to say. We are smart enough to see it.
Yeah.
We look for this information. Like as in for us, I know you mentioned something you keep on mentioning to me is our margin of error is very small thing. So because we are women, we are black girls in motorsport. So our margin of
error is almost zero.
Because I remember, I think something that has stayed with me is when I did that video and I didn't pronounce Ferrari.
Yeah.
I said it. How did I say it? I said Ferrari. Yeah, I said I think it was just like one of our one of our like early short format content. And I remember I was recording it from my house, like as in just in front of a camera. I'm just seated on the seat, like I just want to get it over and done with. But right now we've gotten better.
Yeah.
Is it the last time I get a word wrong? No. I'll get many more words wrong. But does that mean that now you would listen to what we have to say?
Or that your knowledge on the subject is reduced because you pronounced the word wrong? I mean, I do get, we can't be perfect. Even Jesus wasn't liked by everybody.
We are not saying we're Jesus. Like the thing is, so many things could have stopped us so far. Like we've only been here for 6 months, but so many things could have stopped us. So,
but we're still here and we're still growing, and
we'll
still be here.
We will still be here. We will butcher many words. We will try to get it right the next time.
Yeah.
We will learn, but that won't. Like I remember sometimes I do a lot of thinking in the shower. So there's a time I was just showering and I'm like, maybe we should stop this podcast because people are dragging me because I said Ferrari. And I'm like, now I'm going to stop this podcast because because I mispronounced a word.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and people are the one.
I was like, we need rest. I was like, but but that shows you the power of sometimes, people think leaving a nasty comment on someone's thing, you're like, I'm just bored, let me just take out this vile, or just be not nice or kind. Sometimes people ingest that, they internalize that, and do you know maybe how many stories you've killed by not extending some grace? Just be like, maybe next time try to get it right, not drag them into like murder because of something so trivial. Like pick what you picked, and the thing is that critique like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So I think for me, people need to realize that the power of their words, like they need to extend some grace and some kindness to people as well.
Yeah. I don't know if I have any other question. Do you want to do a mind meld?
Let's do a mind meld now. Like I think
okay. Let me put my thoughts together, so we can. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Really?
You said grabbing.
Really? Get out.
Get out. Grabbing. Wow. I would not get that. You got that?
1, 2, 3. Down pause.
Okay.
Wait,
God, will we ever get this? Okay.
wait.
Okay. Please, okay, let's get this.
Okay. One, two, three.
Go.
Pitlin.
Degradation. God! But you've said that before. I don't know why. I think we did not use the same brain cell. I think
No,
today we are not using the same brain cell.
Probably.
Yeah. We'll try this again in a minute. So what's your take? I mean, not even a take, but so what, for example, for you, what drives you? Like, what do you think we are capable of doing as a platform for podcast? Like, what do you think about us, like 6 months to come, maybe?
6 months to come.
We've done the past 6 now.
6 months to come. I would love, I would love to actually regularly attend races. I'm a Formula One fan. I want to attend races. I want to see the cars, go vroom vroom in person.
Yeah.
But also, I see us as a platform for opportunities, to extend opportunities to other people.
Yeah.
Just to, like you said, just to show people that there's something here and you can try it. And it doesn't have to be solely for Formula One, because like I said, I watch other motorsports.
Yeah.
I watch MotoGP, and it's just that I'm just saying that other opportunities for people, now they know, like, oh, there's something like this. I've always liked how bikes run. So is this something that I can, work on, get the skill, or, go to school and study something that is related to this. So it's just basically just showing people there's an opportunity. And it doesn't have to be just the knowledge part of motorsport. Also could be the content part of motorsport as well.
You can be a content
You
creator.
You can be a content creator as well, and not just. I'm just giving you, like, we're doing. What we're doing is very niche, so other people can see. Oh, I've always had an interest in ABC D, ABCD. But I think maybe if I started, nobody's going to listen, or nobody's going to watch me, or nobody's going to care about what I have to say. So this is basically, if you have the passion in your heart, just do it.
So I think the moment you feel like you have something to offer, exhaust it, like go for it. It's not easy.
It's not easy, but at the end of the day, you doing what you love is rewarding.
It is rewarding
in itself.
I think,
and I mean, 6 months to come, hopefully, we can have Lewis Hamilton and can have an interview. I don't know. People might think that, oh, this is another Lewis Hamilton, fan page or podcast. But like I said, some people don't know. For me, I consider Lewis Hamilton my hero. He's my hero.
He's our idol, as in a hero.
Yeah, he's my hero. And like you said, sometimes his positivity is actually very contagious. Sometimes I think, and a situation might happen, and I just scroll on Twitter, and then I see something to do with Lewis Hamilton, and I'm just like, if I was this positive,
I'd be going so far.
Yeah,
not go so far, but
I'll be better. I will be better in life
so
if I was
improves
this.
Your mindset as well.
Yeah, if I was this positive, I would be like, especially like with what happened in the US, him getting disqualified. Because personally, I was so mad about it, but I was just okay. I was like, let me wait and see what Lewis says or does. And then he was very
chilled about
chilled and calm
not
about.
Chilled, just calm.
Yeah.
That's not saying chilled. Like not calm. He was just like very. He's just. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
He's just like putting out, even in the face of adversity. Like he's just projecting this. Like I'm relentless.
Yeah, and some people don't. When his slogan is "Still We Rise," I usually tell myself something happens, and I'm like, you know what? that Toto Wolff was saying George should not do.
Jumping, skydiving.
Yes, he
Skydive.
was skydiving.
Jumping out of planes.
I mean,
I think for me, he shows me that like there's time, you can create time for everything that you want, and you have the opportunity of going after.
Yeah.
Go after it, and I think that has inspired me as well. If you have an opportunity, utilize it. The fact that he's still, I don't know how he does it. He's still, he will deck an athlete every other weekend. It's his runway.
Yeah, it's like
he will come, he will drive, he will threaten you, and then he will put his gun pole and win a race.
Yeah.
So I think it's just not the duality. I don't want to call it the duality of Hamilton. It's the versatility of Lewis Hamilton. And I think, of course, people might say, I know sometimes we are all like, oh, you're hell bent on but I don't have the billions. But it doesn't have to be like you want to, start making a drink, for example. It's in the sense that, for example,
you just
you want to do this podcast, to have like another job on the side. For example, I think my mind can't settle on like one thing. I am always like, I want to like, I want to do this. Like, I want to try this. Even with this podcast, we were just playing like around with ideas. We're like, oh, this sounds great. Like, let's try this for a while. Oh, how's the reception for it? So or on other things, I also love cooking. So I think those are my other like,
You can be a chef and maybe.
We are told we belong in the kitchen, so when someone is
we are cooking.
We're always cooking. Someone told us to go back to the kitchen. Yes, the people are nasty, and honestly, we're always.
He thought he cooked. We're the ones who were cooking.
We cooked him. So I think for us, Formula One, honestly, in the sense, Formula One is more than a sport to us, to be honest. And for me, I think it would make me so happy that we continue growing, we build a community and try to link these opportunities that we know are there, and to open up people's minds that they can work at this global sports, or like also to open up our country, those infrastructures for like, karting, let them be seamless, let's have our, our children, our athletes, like, progressing from one level to another. And we have, Kenya and Africa becoming a hub as well for motorsport. I mean, it has before, but now I think we just want to be part of the renaissance, or the renaissance of motorsport in Africa. Like now it's like, help shape conversations around it, like about how motorsport, like the vibrance, especially like the single-seater series, especially like the single-seater series, because I think rally is very set up, but also we still don't have like, still many Africans on the lineup as well for their like World Rally Championships, for example. I think in Kenya we have amazing women, and we can't wait. And that's the other thing I would want to see, is that we have many athletes come talk to us about their stories as well. We can't wait to curate these conversations. So sometimes people learn best by seeing that these things are being done by other people. So I think they learn
in practice.
So I think I can't wait for us to get into our interview era. I think this is part of us preparing for like our interview era. Kesana. Oh my god. Yeah. So
the Ferrari boys are watching you.
But also I'm saying about our local heroes as well. Like, so as in, honestly, but
down
below here, just tell us people you think should be the first people we interview on
There's
this
so many
podcast.
people who are doing,
and we will try to shoot our shot with them, exactly.
In motocross,
in
Kenya,
rally, everywhere. And
so
we can't wait to get into a
beautiful
conversation with them as well. So and this podcast is actually not like we are for everyone. I know people keep on asking, I remember the first time, the first time you did an interview, you were like, oh, do you just create content for women? No,
it's for everyone, but we're just women.
We're just women. We're just
the hosts are women.
But we don't create
content for
women.
just
because what is that even? But I feel like
I'm excited to see, now at 6 months, just moving forward where we will be. And I hope everybody who has been rallying behind us and watching behind us will continue to grow with us as we.
Yeah, I love the community that our supporters are really like, our fans are very like supportive, and we see you guys, and we can't wait also to now give you actual value as well. We try to give you information, but also like I can't wait for times when we're telling you, oh yeah, this is an opportunity that you can apply to, even if you're living in Nairobi or you're living in Kampala or like you're in Gabon.
Yeah, you can just.
So shout out to our Gabon fans as well. I had that shout with someone on TikTok as well. So, that's crazy. Like I love the power of social media as well.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see where we go. I know we're going to go very far.
Yeah, and it's nice that we're doing it. I'm doing it with
More
you.
passion.
More energy.
Yeah, more energy.
So I think this lasted. I always knew one more mind meld, and then if you guys watch this video, we will do another one. Get to know us. We'll continue filming a part 2, right? One.
Wait.
Let's do it.
Okay. We can do it. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Mercedes.
DRS. Mature.
I know. Oh my god. Okay, so I said Mercedes, but I really. But teams are included, right? Okay. Let's go. The last one, I promise. Marky, please. Let me give you a clue. Something that's relating to like recent events. Let's go.
Something that's relating to
Recent developments.
recent developments.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Plank.
Plank.
Yes! I mean, you had to read that one, but still you got it, right?
Yeah.
Ding ding. No, I think we'll make so much noise for the people.
Ding.
So I think we finally. Do you wanna do another one?
No. Let's just take this moment of victory.
We'll take a win.
Yeah, we'll just take the win.
So guys, I think this is just a part 1. Maybe probably we will do another one or not. But yeah, this is just a simple get to know us.
Yeah.
And get to know why we do what we do.
Yeah, so thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to our channel, follow our Instagram, TikTok,
And Twitter.
and Twitter at the Willspin Podcast.
Everywhere the Willspin. And we also read our blogs at thewillspinpodcast.com.
Yeah,
And we'll shop our merch as well. You'll help the running of this podcast as well.
we have very dope merch.
We do. It's an F1 meets Nairobi kind of vibe with our first collection.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to see where that leads us. Like where the next collection leads us. So thank you. I didn't wait to lead us, but just to lead us somewhere.
Vegas.
Las Vegas trip.
Yeah.
Bye guys. Thank you so much for watching.